Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCG battle. This one I have backed up from a while ago. It was actually right after the game came online, or close to it, towards the beginning of September at least. And obviously, as you can see, I'm playing Darkrai Hydreigon, and since Hydreigon's bugged right now, I can't be playing that. So it must have been from a while ago. And I do remember my opponent is playing an Eels deck. I remember just because of the name of this and something that he does during the game. So I win the coin toss. My opening hand is interesting. I have a Juniper and a bunch of dark patches and a dark energy. I don't... Oh, I'm going to do it. Okay. I don't know if I needed to play the Juniper that turn. I probably could have waited one more turn and maybe tried to get a candy or something going on there, but instead I opt to just go for the Juniper, try and get some more stuff down on my field, I'm sure is what I was thinking. And this hand is not the best. At least I have an energy, so I will be able to start junk hunting, which is really good. And my opponent starts with Mew EX and then plays down a Zekrom, and then goes for Juniper and Junk Arms, discards 2 Junk Arms. So it's going to be one of those matches. One of the matches where my opponent's using cards from Heart Gold, Soul Silver on. And normally I don't mind that too much. I realize some people just can't put together full decks with black and white on, especially without trading. But then there are other people who clearly have the cards to put a black and white on deck together, but just choose to use the broken cards because they're broken. And it seems like that might be the second case here, since he's got a lot of other stuff that's really good. So anyhow, I decided just to play it out, see how it goes. I do draw into an N there, which was actually pretty fortunate. Means that I'm not stuck Junipering. However, I can't retreat because I don't have a Darkrai out, and that's unfortunate. Just kind of stuck in active, at least for one more turn. I really would like to be able to start junk hunting, since that's really good in the early stages for this deck. It helps it set up a lot more consistently, but not working out. So my opponent's going to keep playing cards that have rotated. That was a Pokegear, a 4, a Collector, which actually doesn't bother me too much because Collector is not that good anymore, even before it rotated. But yeah, so he gets Eels and a full art Mewtwo, because that's just what's going on his side of the field. Puts the Eviolite down on Regigigas, which isn't a bad move. But unless he has a switch, he's not going to be able to do anything this turn. And assuming I can keep this hand, I can, never mind. Now I'm not going to be able to retreat. He plays down a Catcher. That's going to stall me from retreating for another turn. I can go for the N here, though. Maybe hit a Darkrai. I get a Ultra Ball, which is good. That is going to let me search my deck for any card I want, and the card I want is going to be Darkrai, because then I can get out of here and finally start doing something. You'll notice I do play a Level Ball as well. Going to use that to grab Zweilous. And thanks to Darkrai's ability, I now have free retreat. I can go into Sableye and get this show on the road. So I think there for just a second whether I'd like to go for Confuse Ray or Junk Hunt. I'm going to check my discard pile to see if there's stuff I want, and there definitely is. Double Dark Patch is too good to pass up, so I'm going to go for that instead of going for the Confuse Ray. The Regigigas doesn't have any energy anyhow, so there really is no threat of an attack coming in this turn, and it was definitely the right choice to go for the Junk Hunt there. So he is going to put an Eviolite down on Mewtwo, and let's see what attaches a double colorless energy to Regigigas. And can he do anything else this turn? See if he gets any Eels. You'll notice he's also playing the 30 HP Dynamo, which is just bad now. It was good back in the day. It's not so much anymore, just because of what's about to happen to him right here. Darkrai eats that thing for lunch. So I get double Dark Patch, and I draw top deck the Dark Energy, which is great. I'm able to Bianca for 5, which is really good too. I would have liked to see me play that random receiver just to get it in the discard pile. Normally, that's not something you want to do, but with Sableye in the deck, it's just really, really good. It means that you can sacrifice a turn in order to guarantee yourself a supporter next turn, barring N, of course. And here, I decide that I would rather set up for another turn instead of going on the offensive. I could have gone on the attack here, but I would really like to make sure my field is in place before I do that. So I opt to Junk Hunt one more time. I grab the Ultra Ball. That's going to guarantee me a Hydreigon next turn. And I also get a catcher so that I can actually catcher out an eel. If he evolves one of his eels this time, I can catcher it out and then Night Spear and kill the one on the bench too, which would be amazing. And I definitely don't want to attack into this Regigigas. You know, Regigigas is only good if you attack into it, and you shouldn't attack into it. It's just better to play around it. If you're forced to attack into it, it can get pretty bad. So it looks like I actually opt to go for the Zekrom here. And I believe I was probably thinking if I take out the Zekrom, then Sigilyph just ruins this guy's day. I know this is an early build of the deck I had, I know, so I was not playing Mewtwo at the time. And I figure if I can just kill this Zekrom, it's going to really make it hard for him to do anything, especially since I'm also going to kill an eel this turn, take out his potential for energy acceleration. It would have also been okay to go to catcher out one of the eels and then Night Spear the other. I guess I just figured I didn't want to waste all that damage on a 30 HP Dynamo. I'd rather hit something with more HP. But I don't know, it might have been worth it just to really kill his energy acceleration. Especially since I think he does get an electric. Yeah, he gets an electric into play this turn. Actually paused there because he took a while to make his move. I think that's what that skip was. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I recorded this match. But he is going to Dynamotor to Mewtwo, which is an interesting choice. I guess he doesn't really have much else he could do. He could go back into Regigigas eventually and force me to catcher around him again, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But now that I have Sigilyph on the field, I can just send him up and have him wall all day long, just like he does in the video games. So my hand is full of stuff. I have 3 random receivers, Juniper and Bianca, and I don't want to use any of them. So I opt to just attack here. I'm going to kill the Zekrom. That's going to open the door wide for Sigilyph to come in, and I'm kind of debating where I want to put the damage here. I opt to go for the electric, which I do think is the right play. Wouldn't have been a bad choice to put it on Mew either, because then a catcher and a Night Spear would kill it. And then obviously Mewtwo and Regigigas had the Eviolite, so it probably wasn't the best choice to put it on either of them. And then I guess with the Mew I figured I've got Sigilyph again, so I don't need to put damage on that. May as well just attack the only thing that Sigilyph can't handle on his own. So he promotes Mewtwo, which is probably the right choice. There's no way he's taking a prize this turn, but then he Junk Arms, which is again a little bit irritating. And I think he gets a catcher, yeah. So Junk Arm for catcher, more than a little annoying. Also, I left my energy on my damaged guys, which is a really big misplay on my part. You always have to be aware of where your energy's at with this deck. You don't want to leave it on things that could get knocked out, because this deck is all about energy manipulation, and you can only manipulate your energy if you have energy on the board. Especially my 2 blend energies. I've already had to discard 1, and then I have 2 both on things that can get KO'd immediately. But then he catches up Sigilyph and X-Balls for 0. So I'm thinking he didn't have any idea what Sigilyph did, and I was just laughing at this point, especially after he used the Junk Arm to get the catcher. I was thinking the whole time, crap, I'm going to lose my blend energy. That was really stupid of me. So, nope. X-Ball for 0, and yeah, I'm just going to put my energy up to Sigilyph. I didn't even have to retreat. He dragged him up for me, and I can Psychic for 140, put the Hurtin down on Mewtwo, and leave him with no options, really. He needs a Zekrom, and he's only got one Eel, so he does put down a Tornadus. Tornadus isn't bad, especially if he has a plus power. It would be able to take out my Sigilyph, but it's not as scary as Zekrom, and it's pretty easy to deal with, honestly. So I don't know if he's going to be able to charge it up this turn or not. He'd need a DCE, and he's only got 2 cards in his hand. Getting an Ultra Ball for me would be nice. That would give me another Hydreigon, which would be handy, but it's not really a priority right now. Feel pretty safe, and I kind of want to keep the pressure on him. He does retreat into it, which is a good idea, and I think what he's actually going to do is maybe go for an Energy Wheel. No, he's going to Dynamotor onto Mewtwo, attach to the active Tornadus, and yeah, then Energy Wheel and Energy up, which, whatever, that's fine with me. I'll just send Darkrai back up and pound him for 90, put 30 more on that Eel. It would be nice to have a catcher here, so it looks like I'm just going to Juniper away all this stuff. I feel like I don't really need it, and getting a catcher would allow me to bypass dealing with this Tornadus and just take a prize on something else. Probably the Mewtwo. So yeah, I'm going to protect my energy there, and I would like to see, there we go, catcher that Mewtwo. Good. So that's going to bring me down to 2 prizes, which makes it pretty simple. I can either knock out these EXs, one of these EXs, or I can just take care of the Tornadus and get the Zekrom get the Electric with Night Spear. So game's pretty much over at this point. I don't see a whole lot of ways for him to come back. He can promote Regigigas, but then I'm just going to wall him with Sigilyph, and without a switch, he's just going to waste too much energy retreating back and forth. And if he does send Tornadus up, I just have Darkrai's to deal with it, because they can take it down in 2 hits and are not too afraid of Hurricane, especially with the Eviolite attached to the active one. You'll notice from the Juniper, I also drew Max Potion, and I think I might have just gotten one out of my prizes there as well. So I'm in really good shape. There's not a whole lot that he can do. Once this deck sets up, it's just really, really hard to beat. He could target down the Hydreigon, because I did only get one of those. That wouldn't be a bad play at all. But he'd have to be able to take it out in one shot, which he really can't do, barring a Zekrom EX, which he can't charge up in 1 turn. So he just switches into Tornadus here, and there's nothing he can really do except go for a Hurricane. Which he's going to think about for a while. Oh, he does have a catcher, so he can... Alright, good for him. He can take a prize on Sableye. But now he doesn't have any cards in hand. He'll have 1 after the prize. And yeah, I'm going to take down the Electric this turn. I could actually Night Spear something else if I didn't want to go down to 1 prize. And that way, when I get End, I would draw 2. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, though. I go for the Juniper here, just looking for another catcher, which I hit. So... oh, yeah, Mew. Jeez. Mew EX, worth 2 prizes. So, yep, just catch up the Mew, hit it for weakness, and take my last 2 prizes. So, that's going to be the game. Thumbs up if you guys liked it. Remember, format is black and white on. Please play black and white on if you can. And, yeah, I'll have more videos coming your way shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.